Hi, Gemini. Well. It's been a while. I don't think I had a Gemini reading for August. I'm so sorry. So hopefully this one makes up for it. Virgo season makes a lot of sense. As you guys share a ruler, you guys share Mercury as a ruler, and that's a pretty unique thing to have. Virgo season's all about the way we look at the details of life. And that's one side of Mercury. And then we have you guys that know how to communicate effectively and know how to put the information out there. And then we have a full moon. There's so much mutable energy going on this month that's really interesting, because we have the full moon connecting with Neptune. The full moon's in Pisces, so is Neptune. Neptune's Pisces ruler. And it's clashing ever so slightly with Jupiter in your partnership zone. It is a time of change. This Pisces full moon is emotional for everybody. It's emotional for absolutely everybody. There's no escaping that. Even the air signs. We had that full moon in Aquarius during Leo season. And for you guys, that was very much to do with expansion. It was very lighthearted. It was quite unique. But it was a lot to do with letting go of the things we can't control. You've made a decision to leave something. For a lot of you, it's a job. For a lot of you, it's a long-standing job. That full moon in Pisces is in your career zone. It's your reputation. So it may be, Gemini, that you feel as if you need to go looking for change. Maybe you don't feel necessarily that it is happening around you, but you maybe feel like now you need to go looking for change and you need to go on to pastures new. The Pisces full moon is an interesting time to make any kind of decision, because on one hand, you're sort of idealistic about what this change is going to be, and then on the other hand you're kind of hesitant because Mars is squaring off Jupiter. Maybe your partner doesn't agree with the change. Maybe you feel as though you're not, you see it's going to be one way and the contract ends up not being the other. But what if you were making this change for better reasons than what is just idealistic? Because I think you are. You're willing so much to start over on something and make it grow. You're willing to seek some kind of adventure. That Aquarius full moon has released a need to seek something new, or try something new, or travel more. Maybe go back to school. The problem is with this change in your life, you're sort of used to the way it was going, and this change is feeling a little bit up in the air. And it's a little bit scary. This Pisces full moon is a little bit scary in some ways, because we have this Neptunian drunk aspect where even if you don't drink, you may feel a little bit tipsy in terms of everything that's going on at the time. This harvest moon is going to bring you strong feelings of fantasy, of illusions. But for you to have it in such a prestigious part of the sky, and yet to have the romantic aspect with Jupiter, but also examining that Virgo place in the world that you have, that home feeling, that unit. For a lot of you this year, you've probably invested in a new home, a house. There's been a lot of changes to do with your living situation. And Virgo season is about the time where unexpected changes to your living season may come up. It's kind of with Uranus being in your 12th house. You might miss home. You might be a bit homesick. But the emotions that come up with Uranus being there, all of a sudden you can be triggered and you can realize that something is something else, and something that you thought you were completely sure that you were feeling, you realize you weren't feeling anymore, and it's actually coming from something a long time ago. With your ruler Mercury being in your home sector, don't be surprised if you have to make some changes, or if you have to have some conversations with your family. Maybe some conversations that could be particularly healing for you. But whatever it is that you're leaving behind, it's tugging at your heartstrings. It's not the easiest thing to leave, even if you're kind of excited. Change is good, but you're very much aware, Gemini, of how much you're calling the shots here. And everyone else is aware of it too. Everybody else can see that you're calling the shots in this situation. 8 of Pentacles. I see. You've been working really, really, really very hard. Saturn being retrograde in Capricorn. It finally goes direct on the 18th. And bear in mind, by the time it goes direct, it's made lovely aspects to the Virgo energy. And as we shift into Libra season, which for you is all about la-da-dee, la-da-da romance, you're going to feel a bit of conflict. Because you're going to simply want to have fun. You're committing to this new, exciting change. It is a bit sad in some ways, because it's different. The people are different. The faces are different. Around the full moon, you're committing to a change. That's good. But when Libra season rolls around, in fact, on the day of the full moon, Mercury and Venus both place themselves into Libra, which is for you a very carefree, very jovial, very happy zone. And it takes a bit of the pressure off your family unit, and things feel a lot more enjoyable. So just bear that in mind. If things are tough at home, they're going to be a lot more enjoyable. But yes, the pressure's going to come off there. But you're going to want to socialize. You're going to want to enjoy. You're going to want to enjoy yourself. And this new job, if it's a new job, or this new earth sign, if it's an earth sign, is going to need a lot of commitment on your part. It's going to need you on your best behavior. And you don't always like that. No. Careful of your energy levels. All work and no play will exhaust you just as much, but if you're trying to have all play and no work, that's going to exhaust you too. Change is in the air, Gemini. Knight of Wands. You could be dealing with a fire sign. Oh, for sure, an Aries. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But there's a change in structure. There's a change in organization. There's a change in your boss. Maybe you want to be your own boss. Maybe you are your own boss. Maybe it's to do with your father, but there's a shift. Ooh. If you're leaving a job, it's for a job with more money. If you're leaving for a relationship, it's for somebody with more money. If you're looking for a relationship, you could be meeting a Christian Grey kind of, could be somebody a bit older, but it could be somebody very, very lighthearted and free on the outside, but they mean business. Yes, for a lot of Geminis, there's a fire sign. If you're dealing with a fire sign, they're very emotionally generous, but they're also very generous with their money. If that's what you're after, I don't know. So, this new job for you, it will pick up. If you're dealing with a new job, it'll pick up. It'll be more exciting. If you're looking for work, it's a wonderful time for that full moon for it to reveal itself to you. There's not a lot of cups, considering this is a Pisces full moon that we have in Virgo season, that we have in September. The reason that I think that is simply to do with your own modality. You are an air sign who's very likely dealing with a fire sign. Very strong Aries vibes here for Geminis this season. You want to put your best face forward, even though you have two. You want to put your best face forward. I know, no shade, no hate. You want to put your best face forward, and you also want to defend your position. For a lot of you that are in a relationship where there are troubles, it's because you need to defend yourself against misconceptions. There's a lot of people saying things, and you need to make sure you're defending your position. In a lot of senses, Gemini, you're dealing with conversations where you're actually standing up for what's right with people. And you're giving unsolicited advice, and they maybe just aren't in the place where they can take it. But if you've given advice to somebody who's a water sign or a fire sign, they will take it eventually. So just bear that in mind. During Virgo season with the Mercury energy, to have your ruler engaging with you, but engaging with you in a way that can feel a bit jolted at times, because Virgo season can do that. You may not feel like you're coming across completely yourself. The amazing thing about duality is that like all the mutable signs have it, and it's kind of funny. I mean, my rising's Pisces. I have that duality too. And it can really, really, really throw you, or it can throw other people at times whenever you're just suddenly, the other one. In terms of your perspective, in terms of the way that you're doing things. And you might have to defend that to people that maybe just don't have that kind of motion. Especially if it's a Taurus. If it's a Taurus, you have to defend yourself quite a lot, I feel. You're about to embark on something incredibly new and incredibly different. For a lot of Geminis that have issues with the father, that's coming up as being something that gets addressed with that Pisces full moon. That Pisces full moon in the 10th house, that is to do with the father. That is to do with structure. That is to do with your reputation. If people have been saying certain things about your reputation, or there's been gossip about you, with the Pisces full moon, it comes back to you. Romantically speaking, when Venus moves into Libra, the same day as that Pisces full moon, you may not notice the effects straight away. That's fine. But it's going to be so good for you romantically. Especially if you're looking for somebody new. Knight of Cups and the Page of Wands. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. You'd love that if you're single. But bear in mind that what seems to be a lot of fun does have more substance to it. Although I do feel that for some Geminis, you may get easily bored when we move into Libra season. If you're single. For a lot of you, you're just not over a fire sign. And this goes for people that are moon or rising too. You're just not over a fire sign, some of you. Fire has a very strong hold on you. And to think that we have so little fire in the sky, bar Jupiter being in Sagittarius, is the most likely one. But we had a very, very heavy fire sky last month. So now that it's settling into Earth and people are sort of finding their feet, I can see why you are getting bored. And I can see why you would want a fire sign's fun and frivolity. But just bear in mind, Gemini, if you're dealing with a fire sign, especially if it's an Aries, they're temperamental in many ways. And if you approach this with a need for nothing but fun, things may collapse a lot quicker than you expected. Especially if this person is well off and they suspect that you maybe have ulterior motives. Because they're very guarded, even though they seem fun, even though they seem exciting, there's a depth there that you might not anticipate. So don't get caught out if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to just be in something with a fire sign purely for the fun. But if you cannot get over a fire sign, there's every possibility that you meet somewhere you wouldn't expect to run into them. So look your best at all times. And for some of you, it actually could be something as crazy as running into somebody, that person in a different country, in a different city. Synchronicity is a funny thing. And when I see the Knight of Cups, oftentimes, in my experience, it's always been about romantic timing finally seeming to be right, is the gist that I get with the Knight of Cups. So to see him come up with another court card, a knight and a page foretells a message. It foretells an exchange. It foretells a declaration. For a lot of you, it's from a fire sign. For a lot of you, it's from a water sign. There's an earth sign here. In fact, we have all three knights. We just don't have yours, but we have air energy. I'll go more into these people in the extended because there's an air sign that I really want to know what they're up to. I feel like it's an Aquarius. But I love you guys. I'm excited to see what you do with your adventurous new change, what you've walked away from, what you're going into. Has a lot of peaks and troughs because you feel as though you have to explain things that you didn't have to explain in the last point, the last job, the last relationship. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun, especially as we move into Libra season. So I will see you in the extended, Gemini. I love you guys. Bye.